Okay, so now that you've activated your account, next step that you need to do is actually get some leads into your account. So what you need to do is go to Contacts under Import Contacts. Okay, the first step you're going to do is select the group that you're going to do the import to. So you're going to import your leads to your leads master list. This is the list where you're going to divvy out into additional groups that you create to make broadcasts from. So this is your master list for your leads. So get your leads list and import it to your master leads list or your leads master list. So after you've selected this group, what you're going to do is find your file. So click here to select your file. Go ahead and click Open. Check this box. Click Submit. And that's all you have to do for this part. Don't ever check this one, just this one box. Okay, now you have to map your fields. So let's go ahead and take a look at the file that I was just using so we can appropriately map them. Oops, there it was. Of course, I'll never find it again. Here we go. Okay, bring this over here. Okay. Okay, so I've got ID, first name, last name, email, phone, desired income. Okay, very good. Give me a good start there. Okay, so ID number, I don't think that we have a spot for that one. It's not the end of the world. This is your, if you don't want to import something, you just leave it on select. Then it doesn't get imported. First name, last name, email, all pretty self-explanatory. Now this next part, this is the phone number. Now typically what I would do or recommend doing is actually duplicating this column in your CSV file. Okay, if you duplicate this column, you'll be able to actually import it to both the phone and then to the mobile field. Let's just say that this was the other column. I would be able to select mobile here. Now the reason being for that is if anything, okay, so text messages will only be sent to a mobile number. So you absolutely want to have a mobile number no matter what. So if you're doing what I'm doing right now, you're going to select mobile, okay? If you even think you might be sending text messages, you're going to select mobile. Ideally, if you have both of them in there, it's just a safeguard, but it's not totally necessary. But as a default, if you're going to be sending text messages, just make sure that you put whatever phone number you have into the mobile field. And then if you do two columns, just do one mobile, one phone. One column mobile, the other column phone. Okay, so the next field we have here looks like it's desired income. This is just dummy information that I made, by the way, so most people will probably want to make more than some of these numbers here. Interest level. This one is hours available. This one looks like the IP address, which is up to you if you want to take that or not. Once you're done, go back over here, click Submit. If you have anything in here that's less than 1,000 records, it will import immediately. So this should be done as soon as I'm done right now. Your leads have imported successfully. Okay, if it's less than 1,000 records, it'll do it right away. If it's more than 1,000 records, you can check here for your process queue and it will show you that it's actually processing. It may take 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so let's just go ahead and verify that they're in there. I'm going to click on my contact manager. And here you have it, 500 records. So what we want to go ahead and do, just out of curiosity, might want to verify. If you're ever in your leads and you're working your leads, make sure that you pull up the list that you want to be viewing before you do anything, because a lot of times you can get confused and start doing stuff here and you're doing it to the same leads over and over and over again because you're not actually looking at the specific list you're trying to access. So now that I'm looking at the specific list I'm trying to access, if I wanted to move leads to a group that I was about to make for a campaign, for example, first you would want to do this. You would want to go to your groups and you want to actually create a group for them. So I'm going to add a new group. You're going to name this group very specifically to your campaign, but I'm just going to call it a test group for the time being. And maybe typically you'll have something like so you know exactly what you did. Hit submit. This is just creating a group because all of your campaigns are going to be connected to groups. So then you're going to go back over here to your contact manager Make sure that you've actually got your list pulled up properly, your leads list, the one that you're moving from. Then let's say I wanted to move 100 records from my master list to the group I just created so that I can run a campaign. I'm going to select this box right here. This is going to select all 100 that I just selected because I put the list view on 100. And I'm going to click Copy Move, find the list that I just made, right there, test group, and I'm going to select Move. Okay? I'm moving them out of my master list. I'm not copying them. I'm moving them out of the master list so that I can use these. Be aware that, hold on a second, let's finish this through. I'll finish this one thing at a time. So now that you know that you will know that those have moved because your master list, which you're in right now, is down to 400. Okay, so let's go ahead and find that other group, our test group, right here. Filter listing, there's my 100 that I just moved. Now let's just say this is kind of the default columns that you get, but you could actually go here to contact fields, select on mobile and uncheck phone, which is what I'm going to do because I don't have any phone numbers actually in there. So now I can actually see there's information there. You can actually do quite a bit to select which ones you want to be able to see, which ones you don't need to be able to see as far as these headers go in your contact fields. So be advised that as far as your data goes, this software will recognize data based on phone numbers and emails. So let's just say you do another import of data and this person, right, like let's say you do this a week from today, and Rosanna, whatever the name is imported again to the list that you put in next week using either the same phone number or the same email. I mean, the same phone number or the same email. So what the system will do is it will say, oh, I recognize that email or that phone number. That belongs to Rosanna. So it's not going to update it with new information. It will actually retrieve the old information that was previously updated or previously imported, and it will say, oh, this is that record. Now, something that is very handy is to go over here and select this box, Dated. Click on Update. So now this shows me the day that all of these leads were imported. That's what you're seeing here. This is the day that they were imported, and you can actually sort a list based on this. All of these ones were just imported today, just now. It's January 10th, 2018, so that's why they all say that. If I went and I imported something tomorrow that was not on any of the, not included on the list that I just imported, a brand new lead, it's going to say January 11th, 2018. So this is very handy if you ever need to recognize, when you import a list, if you've got duplicate records in your file that you just put in there. Because you don't want to be sending the same people over and over again. You want to make sure that you're actually sending fresh leads. That's why we have the funnels to actually continue those communications going forward. So that's why you don't have to, you don't want to be adding them over and over again. If they're in one of your autoresponder funnels, they're already being communicated with. So I'm sure that we're going to go over the specifics of how to actually run your campaign in future videos, but I just wanted to make sure that you were able to get your system set up and you had leads in your system and you understood how the contact data system recognizes data and how it uses data. So hopefully this will give you a better idea so you can actually make decisions on what you're doing going forward when you're running campaigns. But for now, this will conclude the setup process. So congratulations, you have a system that is set up and should have leads in it.